Awesome, a Western Desert Taipan. Can't wait to find the other Taipans on this trip. Old Taipans are mostly active during the day, meaning that they are mostly diurnal. They search around these holes looking for their favourite food, which is rats, and these holes can be quite large. The soil is like walking on a giant sponge, and it's always changing shape depending on weather conditions. We thought it would be a good idea to pop our head out through the sunroof. This made it a heap easier to tell the difference between a piece of tyre or a snake. And as luck has it, only after 10 minutes of looking, we spot a huge snake on the road.
So out basking on this road this morning, we've got an inland taipan. And in terms of the LD50 chart, he is the most toxic land snake in the world. Now, I'm generally one to talk down the dangers of snakes, but I've had a couple of friends be bitten by these guys. It was quite nasty. No one's died from a bite. They've got a reputation for having quite a docile nature, and while he's fairly calm, they are certainly not a snake to be trusted when you're handling them, because they can just change their mood and change what they're doing in an instant. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile. That's why I'm holding him so far away from my body at the moment. And they're lightning fast. Like all taipans, they've got a good sense of sight and highly responsive to movement. Now that said, the general public, the only people that need to worry about this snake is the people that work with it. This snake lives in some of the most remote parts of outback Australia, and so their opportunity to bite, they're quite a shy and secretive snake, so their opportunity to bite is minimal. They spend most of their time down soil cracks. They only come above the surface to bask in the morning and occasionally hunt in the afternoon. Old taipans have that coffin-shaped head, the large scales on the back of the head, and they've got a build. It's been explained to me that their build is somewhat like a perfectly balanced Ferrari, perfectly balanced Formula One racing car. It's really heavy and strong in the middle, but the tail and the head are both very small and whippy, so they can move very fast and with a lot of power. Now this one's still quite dark. They change colours throughout the year, depending on the season. This one's got winter colours. They get darker in the winter months. All taipans do that. So they can absorb more sunlight and get warmer a lot quicker in the cooler months. So he's mostly feeding on native rodents that live down the cracks. That's why they think they have quite a toxic venom. The rodents here are quick to attack. Most Australian snakes have short fangs as well. So he's got quite long fangs and very potent venom. Now that is to immobilise his prey very quickly and retreat. When he bites one of them, the floodplain rats, they're going to get envenomated and die very quickly, but he can retreat back to a safe distance so they can't attack him and bite him and scratch him up. And it's a very good way of surviving out here. It's a very harsh environment. They've got a bright yellow underbelly, and you see those spots. Occasionally they get mistaken for brown snakes because brown snakes have orange spots. He doesn't have a whole lot of them, but that's all taipans. I could feel him build up only for a split second before that happened. And that's what I mean. He looked like he was starting to really relax there, and I just moved enough for him to go, "I've got you." Luckily, I was paying attention. But as I keep saying, unless you work with these snakes, there is nothing to worry about. Taipans just like to get away from people. The only people who have been bitten by this particular species have all been people who have worked with them, as far as I'm aware anyway.
If you haven't noticed already, this snake is also moving backwards, just like the Western Desert Taipan was. And in this paused frame, you can see the tails wrapped around Stephen's hand. This is a super smart technique that Taipans do to make you feel uncomfortable.
So we better move him off the road, because this area has got plenty of mining trucks coming along here. And he'd be flattened for sure out basking. Let him go hunt off in the black soil. Right, that should be far enough. Go back that way, mate. Other way. There we are. No, other way, other way. There we go.
He's just staring straight at you, wondering what's going on.
So we're just having a stare off right now. I've just released him. I don't want him to come back towards the road. So he's just staring at me. As I said before, they've got really good visual receptors and very sensitive to movement. So I'm keeping my distance, because if I got any closer, he might have a go at me. But just from here, he's just got his body raised in a defensive posture. And that's his way of letting me know not to get any closer. Message taken, mate. Message taken. I might get a few photos of him now, actually.
Like all reptiles, taipans are cold-blooded and need the heat to warm up. This helps them to be fast enough to catch their prey. So what me and Steve are trying to do on this trip is just film taipans in the wild and get a different perspective of them. Something not many people have done before. And we just want to show the behaviour of taipans and the way they live in their environment. It's certainly an interesting snake, and probably Steve and I's favourite species of snake. Now he's just having a sunbake here, and you can see Stephen's keeping really still on the camera there, but my slow movements, he's watching every bit of movement. They got great eyesight. Now the reason why they have great eyesight is because they hunt during the day, and what they hunt is for rats. They search in between burrows in these soil cracks, and they need to be really quick, and they need to have really good eyesight to catch these rats because they're quite fast. So this is snake number 2 on our list. We've already found the Western Desert Taipan, and now we found the inland Taipan. Probably thinking, what is that strange person doing out here? And just look how that sun reflects off his scales. Just shimmers beautiful. We decide to leave the snake be and head off to a new inland taipan spot.
Oh! Oh! Mmm.